Alright guys, so for today's video, we're going to be after I get done with what I'm about to be talking about, we're going to take in some of the things the fans have been saying, and God knows that all Dolphins fans are pretty upset right now. And I think we all are collectively as a fan base for different reasons, and most of us point the finger at different things. But it definitely is a team problem, so let's get into what's like, in my opinion, obviously. And I love everybody else's opinion, even if I don't agree with it. I love it, and I love hearing it, and thank you guys for commenting down in the section below. But we're going to get into that here in a second. But so let's start with obviously the offense. I think one of the main reasons, and I know this is stupid, I know everybody's tired of excuses, but one of the main reasons our offense has been terrible is obviously injuries, players playing unhealthy. Obviously, even Anthony Steen, Craig Cooper starting. Obviously, Juwan James regressing is a huge deal, and has been. Mike Pouncey being out is a big deal. This offensive line is obviously inconsistent this whole season. Obviously, the running back group that we have is, I think, and I know a lot of people bring to attention. I think it's true. I think we should start Kenyon Drake. I mean, he's young, and it's not like anybody else. He's got more talent than anybody else on that roster right now. So I think Kenyon Drake starting would help us out a lot. And he has the highest yards per carry on our team right now. So I think he should start every game. I know he's young, and I know Adam doesn't want to start him for him messing up maybe a scheme here and there, but to play, maybe pass protection. But he did a good job against New England in pass protection. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't start. I think that's a big reason why this team, they don't have a lot of playmakers in the backfield. Arian Foster and Kenyon Drake are probably the only playmakers that we have in that running back group, and it showed. I mean, J.J. is just slow. He's slow, and he doesn't hit a hole quick enough. It's kind of sad to watch. I mean, he rarely breaks as many tackles as you would think. I mean, he definitely rarely gets into the second level. I mean, that's not something he's good at. He's not very good at, he's not a really good receiving back either, so. But Kenyon Drake can do both of those things well. He's actually really hard to bring down. He showed that in the New England game. So I think that's one of the big problems, and obviously injuries has decimated this football team, and now that we're hopefully going to get Mike back against Tennessee, that would be huge. Obviously, everybody has been inconsistent on this football team. So sticking with the offensive side of the football, Adam, he's been a little shaky on play calling. We're such a pass-heavy team. And I think he just gets discouraged. I mean, if I was him too, I mean, some of the runs that have, obviously lost one, gain of two, I mean, those aren't productive plays in the National Football League. And I would run away from the run too, but he's also tried to force the run. And it's kind of just been a weird. You just got to find your identity. You got to know what your football team is really good at and use it to your strength. I don't think Adam has found that yet. A lot of that has to do with injuries. I know I keep bringing that up, but it really does. It probably holds. I mean, if that offensive line was healthy, the run game would look way better than it has in these past few weeks. So I think, obviously Adam's play calling has been a little shaky. He hasn't really found out what this team is too good at. And he blames the team. He blames the players. He blames the players for not knowing the scheme enough yet, which is another problem with this offense. This is the first year they're in this offense, and it is what it is. Obviously, we were without Jordan Cameron last night. Or not last night, but Thursday night. I'm crazy, but so that hurt us a little bit. A lot of that goes into the offense side of the ball, and let's get with Ryan. And I'm a big Ryan Tannehill guy, and I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think he struggles, but again, inconsistency around this organization. This organization has been absolute trash around this quarterback. A lot of people want to compare him. We'll get into that later, but right now, I know, listen, his pocket presence is questionable. It's more than questionable. It's not good at all. It's because, it hasn't gotten better, and it's probably bad development. It's obviously terrible development by our coaches for not knowing that's a weakness with him, and knowing that he has to use his legs more to make plays, be more of a playmaker, and that's something Ryan has struggled at his whole career. Is breaking the pocket and finding people. He does it sometimes. When he does it, he's not. There's no problem with, he can throw on the run fine. He's one of the most accurate passers when he breaks out of the pocket. I can't remember the stat, but He just needs to do more of it. I mean, I'm sick and tired of, Jarvis Landry. Everybody talks about it on this football team all the time. He just needs to be more spontaneous, like a Derek Carr or somebody like that, to break out the pocket, or Aaron Rodgers, to make plays for this football team. He barely even does that. He stays in the pocket. He tries to find somebody open. And a lot of people bring up he holds the ball too long. It's because there's nobody open. If you watch that game, every time he holds the ball long, it's because there's nobody open. Again, he has a problem with, like, okay, well, if there's nobody open, break the pocket and make a play. He doesn't do it. He sits there. He doesn't sense pressure where like a Russell Wilson with those amazing instincts that Russell Wilson has, or Andrew Luck, who can feel the pressure and break the pocket and make a play. And that's what Ryan Tannehill is not very good at, and that he needs to get better at. And a good thing is that Adam acknowledged that and said, yeah, he needs to get better at it, and it's not something you can't teach. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think you can blame. It's not just Ryan. It's the organization. That's probably his biggest problem. His throw deep, this whole throw deep trash is, I think, bogus at this point. And if he gets better at that, he can be an elite quarterback. He's just got to get better at that. So hopefully we see more of that throughout the season. Hopefully Adam preaches that. And Omar Kelly brings up a good point. He was talking about, well, we don't roll him out a lot. And that is true. I mean, we treat him like Peyton Manning, a pocket passer. We really don't use his athleticism enough. And that's another issue this offense has. Again, Adam has to know his personnel, and he has struggled with that. So I blame it on I'm not saying that, Ryan is a crap and golden child and shouldn't deserve criticism. I totally get what you guys are saying, and I'm frustrated too. But I just don't think it's all his fault. I don't think that's the reason we lost 22-7. When people are open, he hits them. And you saw it. When we saw Kenny Stills, it's not like he's when somebody says he looks like a backup quarterback, that means he misses like throws. Ryan missed that was one of the worst performances Ryan has ever put on film. But his whole career collectively, he doesn't miss a lot of throws. Maybe early in his career you could say that, maybe his first 2 years. But he doesn't miss that many throws. He's gotten way better at throwing the ball deep. He doesn't miss that many throws. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to people's questions now, because this video is running a little long. I might have to let you go. But I guess we could get to the defensive side of the football. The good thing about the defensive side of the football, obviously the run game improved against Cincinnati, but Cincinnati wasn't a good running team in the first place, So that wasn't, and then everybody wants to point to, they held him out of the end zone. Well, Cincinnati's also one of the worst in the NFL, like, scoring touchdowns. So they were just the Bengals. We didn't do anything special to them. They were just the Bengals. And that's why, I was like, okay, to perfect example of this. The first drive that they had, they score a field goal, right? So that kills any momentum that we have on the road, already down 3 points, right? And then we score a touchdown, I think, on the very next drive. And then they score a touchdown on the very next drive. So we can't maintain a lead to save our lives, especially with the good defense on the road. Your defense has to come up and make that stop, swing the momentum a little bit, like calm down that home crowd. And a lot of people that sounds like a little cliche, a little bit bogus, but it's true. It is what it is. We'll figure this. I think I'm being serious. I think this team's just gonna improve. I don't think it's gonna regress. A lot of people forget we almost beat New England. We should have beat New England. We should have beat Seattle. Then the ugly Cleveland game obviously was ugly, and then the Cincinnati game was pretty ugly too. But I just remember those two games, and remember those are the first two games that this team, in a regular season game, was in that offense. So I think it's just gonna get nothing but better. Hopefully we see more from DP. That's another thing where this offense needs to get going. We need to draw some more plays up for DP and get him more targets. He barely is targeted at all. It's actually pretty sad. So, again, Adam's got to do a better job of knowing what he's got on this football team. And Ryan's got to do a better job of being aware in the pocket, making more plays for his football team, being more of a playmaker, using his legs, and this team will win more games. So, that is going to be it, guys. I am Skagster 83, and I will see you guys in the next one.